Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to whoever is watching this or from wherever you are watching this. Welcome to an updated review of Lucid Trading. I did make a video with this exact update. Here you can see the Lucid Pros, Flexes, and Directs, which I'm going to review you guys through once again. I've already gone through them in the past and I've taught you guys how they work. But one thing I did not mention is how the live account works. And as you can see, since the last video I made, I actually did get moved to live with them. You have a live account, your new accounts are locked, reset. I don't know what it means to reset an existing account, but I basically still have my live accounts. They're literally about to get blown. They have like $100 left in them. I tried flipping them from $2,000 to infinite money. You'd think I learned my mistake when Topset moved me to live and I blew it by trying to flip it, but no, here we are once again with Lucid, where I once again basically just full ported the live accounts and lost them. But that doesn't differentiate from the rules. So now let's get into how Lucid Max works and how all the other accounts work. Now, if you want to watch Lucid Max, I recommend you skip to probably 5 minutes from now. I'm going to keep this video short. A lot of people are complaining saying, oh, the last video was short. What the fuck do you guys want from me? Like, do you want a 30 or 3-hour video like of me yapping about the rules? Because you don't need that. You really don't need that. You need a 30-second description of how the accounts work, why they work that way, and how you can use them to make money. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you guys, hey, this is my favorite prop firm. These are the rules. This is why it is ideal for you to trade. Here's how you can make money with them, right? Or here's how I make money with them, right? I'm not going to sit here for 45 minutes yapping like every other person on YouTube does, right? Also, shout out this for keeping me alive throughout the day, all right? Let's get into it. Lucid Trading Full Guide. Just so you guys know, I'm going to download this and put a copy of it into the free Discord. Free Discord will be in bio for you guys to join. It's basically at this point, my free Discord is a community for traders to talk. I don't sell a strategy. I don't teach a strategy, nor do I plan on doing so. Everything I teach and trade is public knowledge on YouTube, right? I don't charge for my model. I don't charge for my system. You can join my Discord. I literally just have prop firm guys on there, and I make sure everyone benefits from being in there, right? So, as well as weekly giveaways. Lucid Trading Guide, Flex Accounts, my personal choice. Why is it my personal choice? Just because of how free you are while trading them, right? What do I personally hate? I personally hate consistency rules. I personally don't like having to build a buffer because it really messes with my psychology, right? If it doesn't mess with yours 100%, I recommend the pros in that scenario, but I'm going to go over why and what differentiates the flexes and the pros. So the flex accounts, like I said, my personal choice. Evaluation stage is going to be a 2-day pass, meaning there's a 50% consistency rule on the 25Ks. Just so you guys know, every number here starts at the 25K accounts, which you'll see here. It goes from 25 and it goes all the way to 150. So when I say 1.25, 3, 6, 9, that just means the profit target on the 25Ks is 1.25. On the 50Ks, it's 3, and so on, right? So profit target 1.2K, 3K, 6K, 9K. You'll see that's the same thing for every account. None of these accounts have different profit targets. Lucid is very consistent with all their accounts. They all have the same profit targets across each size. And they also all have end of day drawdown. I want you guys to understand that a few people asked that in the last video, and I want to make it clear, I will never trade a prop firm that has intraday trailing drawdown. Do you think I would promote an account to you guys that has intraday trailing drawdown? That's actually such scumbag behavior. The day I promote an intraday drawdown account, unsubscribe for me. That is a recession indicator. That is an indicator that I am going broke and that some prop firm is paying me $1 million a month to promote them, like Apex. There's a reason I don't promote Apex. There's a reason some people out there promote Apex. All right, I'm just saying they're getting paid a fat bag. I'm just saying I would never trade an account with intraday fucking drawdown. Are you serious? Every account Lucid has is end of day drawdown. Intraday is ridiculous, bro. Cheers. All right. When you are on the funded stage, evaluation stage is literally the only rules. 2-day pass, you make 1.5K on the first day, you make 1.5 on the second. I'm assuming most of you guys trade the 50Ks. If you trade the 25Ks, just literally divide this by 2, and that's what you should be going for. And for risk, I personally, on evals, I divide my drawdown by 2, and I give myself kind of like 2 bullets in the chamber or 2 shots in the chamber. If you want to be very risk-free, just divide it by 4, right? My personal preference is I divide my evaluation drawdown by 2, and that's how much I risk per trade. And when I'm on the funded, I give myself 5 to 6 losing trades, right? So funded stage, it is 90-10 split. All their accounts are 90-10 split. I think you keep your first $10,000 that you make with them, and then after that, it's a 90% profit split. So 5 winning days of on the 25K, 100 on the 50K, 150 on the 100K, 200 on the 150, 250. There is no consistency rule on funded. There's no buffer required. Minimum request across any account is going to be $500. I should have made that more clear in the previous video. Every single account, including their live account, I did get moved to live and I did understand their rules before I basically blew it. It is a $500 minimum payout, right? Across all their accounts, across Flex, Pro, Direct, Live, and the Lucid Max, which is what I'm going to show you. Just so you guys know that Lucid Max is not available to the standard Lucid user. Yeah, I guess user's name for it, or customer, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, because I am ultimately a customer, right? So consumers, whatever we are to them, we're just numbers on the screen. Where was I going with this? I'm an idiot. I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Okay, it's not available to the average person. It's only available to people who get moved to live and then blow their live accounts. So you have to get moved to live, and then once you blow your live account, you no longer have access. That's why I have 3 tabs open. I'm logged into my dashboard on this one. On this one, I'm not logged into my dashboard, right? So if I log into my dashboard, this is all I see when I want to add accounts, right? When I click add account here, this is all I see. There's no Pro, there's no Flex, there's no Instant. I only have access to these from now on. You guys, the odds are 99% of you guys are not on live, meaning you have access to the Pros, the Flex, and the Lucid Directs. I no longer have access to those. Rest in peace. Lucid Flex, the best account in the trading space. I can no longer have access to trading you. I wish I did. Literally the cheapest ones too. You're saving 40% on your first thing with my code as well, or any code you guys want to use, right? So that's what I was trying to tell you guys, is the Lucid Max is only available to people who get moved to live. And then once you blow your live account, you get put in timeout. They say, oh my God, you're such a bad trader. You are a bad trader. You had a bad risk management, 2 weeks timeout. So Lucid puts you in timeout for 2 weeks. For those 2 weeks, you are not allowed to trade Lucid. So forward test, trade another prop firm for 2 weeks, and the second I'm allowed to trade them again, I'm just going to buy the 50K max evals, and I'll explain how that works in a minute. Let me just go over the rest of these accounts, right? And if you guys want a more in-depth explanation of the pros, flexes, and directs, I do recommend watching the other video, because this is going to be more of a sped run video. I'm also wired on a lot of caffeine right now. But like I said, this account, no buffer, no consistency is what I hate that so much. I hate building a buffer. I hate consistency rules. So this just makes it so you can literally make $4,000 in one trade in one day across all your accounts, and then just farm winning days. What do I mean by farm winning days? I mean, this is a strategy a lot of people do on funded accounts, is you see a very high probability setup. You risk very heavy. You go for most of your balance there. And then from there, let's say you make $2,500 in one trade, you still need 4 winning days of $150. So now what you can do is you have a balance of 2.5K, risk $100 every day for the next 4 days. You make your 150 times 4, that's $600 on top of your $2,500. You now have $3,000 per account. You can request $1,500 per account. I personally only trade 3 to 5 accounts. I say 3 to 5, being friendly. I'm always copy trading 5 accounts. That's a $7,500 payout for me, right? That's easily accessible twice, 3 times a month with my system. I'm a very high frequency trader. That allows me to do $15,000 to $20,000 a month just off the flexes, right? Which is what I've done in the past. Lucid Pros. Here's the cool part about them, is you can one day pass them. So CPI, PPI, do I suggest doing it? No. Have I done it? Yes. Has it worked? Yes. So I love these for news events. You can literally just go all in on one trade and pass them. I actually got break even on CPI last time and just passed them during AM session. You have the same profit target, you have the same drawdown, but you do have a daily loss limit on the 25K. You don't have one. Why the fuck would you trade a 25K? Like, what? What? Like $1,000 in drawdown? Like, no, I'm going for 2,000 at least. I love the 150s. Not for the pros, but for the flexes. But you do have a daily loss limit on these of 1.2K on the 50s, 1.8 on the 100s, and 2.7K on the 150Ks, this is the most bang for your buck with your daily loss limit, because if you're losing 3K in a day on your 150s, which I've done in the past, you're gonna blow them realistically. You're so deep in drawdown, right? Funded stage. There's a 40% consistency. The payout cap has a tier. I should mention on the flex, the payout cap is $2,000 on the 50Ks, 2.5 on the hundreds, and 3,000 on the 150s, right? On the pros, the payout cap is tiered. What does that mean? That means your first payout is going to be $2,000. That means your first and second is $2,000. Your third and fourth is $2,500, and then after that, I believe it goes all the way up to $3,000 for the 50Ks, right? And that applies to all of them. If I could find that really fast for you guys, Lucid Pros payout. So you can see right here, bang. Payouts 1, 2,000 payouts, 2 plus 2,500. You guys can screenshot this and keep it. I want to keep this video short. No more yapping from me. Anyways, to get a payout, you do have to build a buffer of $100 over your drawdown. What does that mean? That means if your drawdown is 1,000 on the 25Ks, you have to make $1,100 to request a payout. Now, your minimum payout is $500. So you are going to have to do 500 plus 100 over that drawdown. So realistically, on a 50K, which is what most of you guys, I'm assuming, are trading, you're going to have to make 2,000 plus 100 plus 500, $2,600 to request $500. I go for 3,000, I request 900. Now, here's the bang for buck when it comes to trading the pros versus the flexes, is on the flexes, you make 3,000, you request 1.5K per account, but you're only left with $1.5 thousand in drawdown. On the 50Ks, with the pros, you make 3,000, you request 900, but you're now left with $2,100 in drawdown, which is $600 more than the flexes, which allows you to leverage a little bit more or get those 1 to 2 extra losing trades that you might have not have been able to accept or take that hit if you were on the flexes and took that payout, right? So now that you make 1.5K on top of the buffer you have built, you can just request 1.5K, right? Same thing with these, but you have less drawdown. So essentially, once you build that buffer, which is the hardest part, everything you make, you keep 90% of, up to the payout cap of 2,000 for your first one, and then 2,500 for your second plus payout. After 5 payouts, you are automatically moved to live with almost every account, I'm assuming. Payouts to live on the pros, 5. Payouts to live on the flexes, 5. Payouts to live, 6. Where the fuck does it say? I don't even know if you get moved to live actually on the direct accounts. Maybe you don't get moved to live on the, I don't know. That's a question I should very much look into. Either way, Lucid Directs, like I said, I don't recommend these. I literally just made a TikTok and Instagram video about this. They're so expensive, guys. They're so expensive. 25K, $230, 50K, $360, 100K, $500, 150K, $600. This is also 40% off. So they're actually $850, $800, and $500 for a 50K for $2,000 in drawdown. When you're spending $500 on an account for $2,000 in drawdown, just put that money into a real brokerage. Put that money into the S&P. Put that money into a live account with AMP, with Webull, with NinjaTrader, with any brokerage. Like, you have better odds of making money there. Because you also have a 20% consistency rule here. Like, that is not acceptable, right? I am Lucid's biggest fan. I am literally the biggest Lucid glazer in the industry. And I'm here telling you, don't be an idiot and waste your money on these accounts. They are not worth it, and they never will be, right? But I am going to go over their rules for those of you guys who want to trade them, because I've seen a lot of DMs and I've seen a lot of questions saying, hey, I can't seem to pass an eval for my life. Is it worth it for me to get the direct? If your passing frequency or your passing rate is that low that you think you really need it, then go for it. It's not going to kill you, right? And if you want that, it is no evaluation stage, and the funded stage is 20% consistency, daily loss limit of nothing on the 25Ks, 1.2K, 2.1, and 3K, right? Your profit target, now, I said there's no evaluation phase. There is still a profit target. You have a profit target, meaning there's a minimum balance requirement before you can take a payout, right? And that minimum balance is 1.5K on the 25Ks, 3K on the 50Ks, 6K on the 100Ks, and 9K on the 1.5Ks. So literally what you have to make to pass an eval on another account, you still have to make before you get a payout. But you're basically paying to pass an eval, and then once you pass the eval, you get paid out. So you're paying $500 for 50K or 360 if you use a code at checkout. I still don't recommend it. I'm telling you, the pros or the flexes are where the money's at. But once you make $3,000, you are automatically eligible to request $2,000. There's no 50% split. There's no buffer requirement really. Like, you're just requesting 2,000 out of the $3,000 balance, which is really cool, except for the fact that you have to deal with a 20% consistency rule. And if you can deal with that, you're a better trader than I am, because I cannot do a 20% consistency rule. I have failed this so many times. Lucid Max. Let's get into the Lucid Max, because this is a very, very interesting plan. Now, when you actually get a lot of payouts with Lucid, like I have, I've done over 60,000 or 50 something thousand dollars in payouts with them. They're like, okay, you're a consistent trader. Let's test you out on live. I'm a dumbass. I full reported my life, but I can still explain to you what the rules are, right? Their rules are essentially no rules. You get moved to live. You have your drawdown. Let me tell you one thing. Your balance does not get transferred over. So don't go for like a $20,000 balance like you would at other firms, because your balance will not be transferred to live. I had a $3,000 balance across 3 accounts, across 3 pros. And once I got moved to live, my account had $0 in it. They give you one live account for every single account that you had actively trading. Because I had 4 accounts, but only 3 of them were being actively traded. What does that mean? That means that means that one of them I just didn't take a trade on, because I had just activated it the night before I got moved to live. So I didn't trade on it. What did they do? They refunded me, which is really cool. They actually gave me a refund on an account that I didn't trade, but I paid for it, which is dope that they refunded me. No other firm would do that. But let's get into it. On a live account, you have to wait probably a few days for them to make it, whatever. You're on a real brokerage. It says $0. Do you have $0? No. The account is worth $0, but you have $2,000 in drawdown. So you basically get placed on a $2,000 live account. If you're on 100K, you have $3,000 in drawdown. If you're on 150K, you have 4.5K in drawdown. So whatever account size you were trading, they will correlate a live account for it. So if you are on a 150K account, when you get moved to live, you get one account. Each account gets $4.5 thousand in drawdown. On a 50K, each account gets $2,000 in drawdown. And on a 100K, each account gets $3,000 in drawdown. I had 3 accounts with $2,000 in drawdown, and I basically took 2 back-to-back $1,000 L's trying to flip it, right? What I did is not important. What is important is for you guys to understand how the rules work. When you are on live, there is no consistency. There's payouts from day one. Minimum payout is $500, right? The minimum payout is $500, and once you take a payout, your drawdown goes from $2,000 to $100. What does that mean? That means if you have $1,500 in your live account and you withdraw $1,000, or you withdraw, if you withdraw $1,000, you have $400 in drawdown, because your live was $500, or it was $1,500 minus $1,000 that you took out is now $500. But it trails to positive $100 from 0, right? So you now have $400. So what I recommend doing on the live accounts is at least building that buffer of $2,100 as you would on the pros. So treat your live accounts the same that you would trade the pros, except the same that you would trade the pros. Sorry, I started there. But the difference is there is no consistency on the fundeds, and there's no payout cap. It's a live account. The only difference between the live and the pros is essentially live, you can take a payout from day one, right? If you make $5,000 your first day, you can literally take all of that out and blow it, but that's stupid, right? You want to leave yourself a buffer. You really do want to leave yourself a buffer. So what my plan was to make 4K and then take out 2K per account, leaving myself a $1.9 thousand buffer, or $2,000 in the account, but at $100 it does get disqualified. So leaving myself a $2,000 buffer and taking $2,000 per account. Also on the live account, when you make $2,000, you are matched with a $2,000 bonus. Meaning once your balance reaches $2,100, you build that drawdown buffer of 100 over your $2,000 drawdown. Lucid awards you. They literally hand you $2,000 in cash per account. So if you have 5 live accounts, you get 1 live account for every account you have actively trading, right? If you get 5 live accounts with them, you make $2,100 per live account. You just made $10,000 for doing nothing. Does that come out of your account? No, it does not. It is literally a bonus. It is a bonus. Like, you literally did nothing for it. You just build your buffer. So let's say you make $4,000 and you withdraw $2,000 per account. Now you got a $10,000 payout and a $10,000 bonus. So now you just got paid $20,000 for literally just building your balance. How ridiculous is that? That is awesome. That their rules are goated, right? And Lucid Max is the exact same shit, except once you blow your live accounts like this dumbass did here, you have to wait 2 weeks to get the Lucid Maxes, and they're basically evals. You have to buy these. They're evals, right? $180 for the 50Ks. They're very expensive. Wow. $400 for the 150. So your boy will definitely be getting the 50Ks. That is too pricey for me. And essentially the same thing, right? $2,000 in drawdown, $3,000 profit target, 40% consistency on the evals. The evals are definitely trickier. Minimum trading days is 5 minimum trading days till you get your account pass. So I will be taking these slow, hence why they're very expensive. And there's no payout cap. How cool is that? No payout cap, eval to live, meaning it's not a funded account. It is a live account with $2,000 in drawdown, right? And this one has no daily loss limit, no consistency, daily payouts on day one, and it is a live account, right? So it is literally a funded eval to live route that you are not accessible to pay for, or you're not allowed to pay for until you actually prove to them that you are a consistent trader and get moved to a live account. Now, once you get moved onto the live and you blow your live, you're eligible to basically reapply for the live account. Think of it as like a comeback. Like you blew your live account, but instead of getting banned, like, by the way, 90% of prop firms, when you blow the live account, they ban you. I got basically banned from Topstep for a few months for doing that. They put me in a focused trader program for months until they recently just lifted that, thank God. And now Lucid is coming out here saying, hey, instead of banning you, we're just going to put you in timeout for a week or two, and then you could basically try out to get put on a live account again, or try out to get placed on a live account again, which is exactly what the Lucid Max is for. It is an evaluation phase, 5 days, 40% consistency rule across your evals. So how do I plan on passing these? I'm basically just going to risk $500 per trade, and that should very much, over the course of 5 days, I should be passing these accounts, getting placed on 5 live accounts with no daily loss limit, no consistency rules, daily payouts, and no payout cap. That is ridiculous, right? No payout cap, eval to live. Max size is 4 minis on the 50K. Max loss limit is 2,000. Let me show you guys all of them. 1,000, 3,000. It's a live account, guys. It is literally a live account that you have an evaluation phase for. So think of it as a tryout for getting placed on a live with a prop firm without having to redo the entire process of getting your 5 payouts and doing all of this, right? Which if you're going for 5 payouts, personal favorite is the flex. I'm biased because I've made more money off the flexes, but I do love them, right? And then the pros are also fantastic. If you guys buy the directs, I'm telling you right now, you're a moron. But if you want to buy them, I'm not going to knock you down. I know people who have very low passing eval rates and they just make money with the directs. If that's you, do it, bro. I'm not going to stop you. Do it by all means, right? But I'm telling you, they are expensive. So if you're not in a good financial situation, don't spend your money on them. Definitely just go for the cheapest ones, which is going to be the flexes as well. The flexes are way cheaper than the pros. Wow. Yeah, definitely get the flexes, 100%. All right, boys, with that being said, I will leave a full guide to this in my Discord for everyone in there to grab. If you guys are interested in how I trade and everything, I'm telling you, free Discord is where everything is at. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you boys in the next video. Peace out.